U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall, in his keynote address at the Air Force Association, flagged that China has the potential to install weapons in space and likened the situation to the Cold War. He further warned that China might be able to make attacks effectively undetectable for early warning systems. Kendall also expressed concerns about how China has quickened its pace in modernizing its military. It's also said that China will also move ahead to use space to dominate not only the US but also the rest of the world. Its plans for the future wars are space-based. In addition to utilizing its large stockpile of surface-to-air missiles, ballistic as well as cruise missiles. In view of these developments, it's now the need of the hour to develop a space accord and set up a regulatory mechanism on the lines of IAEA to monitor all global space activities like space infra management, launches, debris pollution, and also prevent and manage potential space warfare. Joining us at this point is Lieutenant General P.J.S. Pannu, former Deputy Chief IDS. We also have Ksiddhartha, earth scientist and strategic thinker, joining us live. Professor Satya Chakravarti, aerospace engineering and head, National Center for Combustion, R&D, IIT Madras, and co-founder Agnikul Cosmos and the E-Plane Company, is joining us live. Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran, global strategic and defense expert and CEO, Q Gates Technology, is also with us live. Siddhartha, becoming a increased and likely possibility and eventuality, is that something that the world needs to prepare itself for? Given Chinese aggression in Earth, it could translate to happening in space too, which is exactly what this this warning from the United States is coming in by none less but someone extremely senior in their Air Force.
I'm going to extend it on the point picking up the Chinese mindset. See, when Chinese are going to be fighting a war, they are going to be fighting a war in every possible manner. What they will going to do is that the spent fuel carriage that is going to be designed, they will not going to design. They will allow it to fall on the surface without any type of a discourse, without any type of a path, any type of a spark that can go on to fall anywhere. They will go on to create so much amount of debris that human beings are going to be in danger everywhere and in every possible form. They will also go on to create a good amount of destructive aspects in this case and damage sensitive space-based optical sensors. They will go on to pursue parallel programs for military and commercial communication along with it. Not only that, what the Chinese are going to do is that they will go on to increase the risk of people and Earth on re-entry of the space objects and maximize and minimize transparency to their activities in this case. They are also going to be technically capable of launching a rocket, as we talked about, whose spent fuel is going to be landing somewhere on the Earth and in unpopulated areas. Not to talk about ASAT and other aspects. So in trying to forge a certain type of an accord, we have to take into account almost all of these aspects. That is, no one is able to do that. And Chinese go on to think of exploiting any type of a system that is going to be existing in your country, in your organization. So if there is no organization base, they will going to exploit it. If the country is too free, they will going to exploit that part. If it is that the country is going to be rich enough, they will going to create a divide between the rich and the poor people also. Now that is which is going to be the most important danger, because the positioning of the Chinese, the way that they go on to think, and they don't think about the environment, they don't think about people, they don't think about humanity, they don't think about what Mrs. Sudhakaran talked about, and also Lieutenant General Pannu, that is the war that they're going to fight it. That is, they will go on to deorbit their satellites as well, they will go to deorbit as well, and then strike hitting it. They will go on to fight a war without following any type of a convention of a war. And that is where an accord is going to be required most, and not only with respect to the space, with respect to outer space as well, because tomorrow they may go on to go to Neptune, to Pluto, they may go on to pick up some of these chemical elements and go on to disperse it on the whole of the Earth. Who knows it? Because that is what they are constantly thinking. They will not go on to follow the norm of following the graveyard of the orbits, and they will go on to allow all of this space to get degenerated completely. Now that is where that actual danger from the Chinese lie, and not only that, and that is where exactly that we require an accord. That is what we have to be taken into account in trying to protect the whole of the earth and whole of the humanity as well.
Okay.